I learn in this letter that Don Peter of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very nearby this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Peter hath bestowed much honour on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad to hear it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him. Even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Signor Benedict returned from the wars or no?
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
And I pray you, how many have he killed and eaten in these wars? Oh, but how many have he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
Hath done good service in this war, lady.
Oh, you had musty victual, and he have hoped to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman. He have an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. Oh, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honourable virtues.
Oh, indeed, he is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there is a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last one, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. I pray you, who is his companion now? He have every month a new sworn brother.
Is possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his face but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, anywhere I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 there be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
But Signor Leonato, you are to come to meet your trouble.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother has many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no. For then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honourable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she have such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Or courtesy itself would convert to disdain if you come in her presence?
In courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. Well, I thank God and my cold blood I am of your humour for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Well, scratching could not make it worse, and 'twas such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good at continue. But keep your way in God's name. I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato has invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonato, we will go together.
Say, Benedict, didst thou know the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
By Ifaith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Well, thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in a song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? In faith, hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of threescore again?
What secret has held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance. He's in love with who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my true faith and troth, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she's worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at this stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
But a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her the most humble thanks. But that will have a ratchet winded in my forehead, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he has made great preparation.
Nay, mock not, ere you flout all ends any further. Examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Have Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Leonato?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked but had a rather task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to wars.
If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll enclasp my heart, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being, as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests, laugh when I am merry and cloud no man in his humour.
You have late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the reason for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in disgrace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
Oh, I make all use of it, for I use it only. So, what news, Borachio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince your brother is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any mortal to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Marry, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. And there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross in any way, I bless myself every way. You are sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. The cheer is the greater that I am subdued. What the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
I'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
Oh, I saw him not, frankly.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Signor Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world, if could get her goodwill.
Oh, my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Well, too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he sent me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? No, he that have a beard is more than a youth, and he that have no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth, he is not for me, and he that is less than a man, well, I am not for him. Therefore will I take 6 pence in earnest of the beard, and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then go you into hell.
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here is no place for you, maids. So deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by a father.
Yes, faith. It is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say father as it please you. Oh, but for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow. Or if not, make another curtsy and say father as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a pierce of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it as a sin to match in my kindred.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer. The reveller's entering. Brother, make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so, when I please.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words, the clerk is answered.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my wit out of the 100 merry tales? Why, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Well, I'm sure you know him well enough.
No, not I, believe me.
Have he never made you laugh?
I tell you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Well, do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio, I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well, I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How do you know he likest her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I, too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Claudio,
Yeah, the same.
come. Will you go with me?
With her.
Even to the next willow about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? You must wear it one way, for the prince has got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But my Lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The princess fool! Ha! It may be a go under the title because I am merry. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Will thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer. I will but teach the birds to sing and restore them to the owner.
Their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice has a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she's much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great Thor. She speaks poniards and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her. All disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia. Do any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, good sir, here's I dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him good use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice, so your grace may well say I have lost it.
You've put him down, lady. You have put him down.
Well, so I should not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why? How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
Here, Claudio, I've wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I've broke with her father, and his goodwill is obtained. Name the day of the marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and grace say amen to it.
Silence, is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you, and dote upon the exchange.
Well, speak, cousin, or if you cannot stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Aye, my lord. I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin whispers in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord, for alliance! Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may well sit in a corner and cry, hey ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I had rather had one of your father's getting. Have your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another one for working days. Your grace is far too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
No, truly, my mother cried. But then there was a star that danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you?
Oh, I cry your mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon?
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She's never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I've had my daughter say she had often dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Lord, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and time too brief, too, to have all things answer my mind.
I warrant thee, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules's labours, which is to bring Signor Benedict and Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I'm for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far I can praise him. He's of a noble strain, of approved valour and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humour your cousin, that she shall fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. Go in with me, and I will tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment would be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in favour of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unreasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at a lady's chamber window.
What life is in that, to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honour in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavour anything.
Go, then find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me, intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honour, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial, offered them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window, hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret turn me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Draw this to what adverse issue it can, I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
And be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn the day of marriage.
I do wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviour to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by failing in love. And such a man is Claudio. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, well, none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what colour it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbour.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yeah, my lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict has hid himself.
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended. We'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Then my sea was ever 1 foot in the sea and 1 on the shore. To one thing constant ever. Then sigh not so, but let them go, and you'll be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe to hey nonny, nonny. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dawn so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since summer first was leafy. And sigh not so, and sigh not so, and sigh not so.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
Ah, no, faith, thou singest well enough for a shift.
How does leave have heard through night raving come what plague would come after it?
Yeah, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the ladies' hero chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today that your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye, stalk on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I, neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviours seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
And my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion come so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well. This fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You had my daughters tell you how.
She did, indeed.
How pray you? You amaze me. I thought his spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot, sure, hide himself in such reverence.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Has she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says, shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she's beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in a smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now, you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had written and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheet.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he wrote to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Aye, then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy has so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afraid she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it, and torment the lady, the poor lady worse.
She is an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory.
I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Well, Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not, or she will die if she makes her love known. And she will die if he woo her, rather than she will be bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, has a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God. And, in my mind, very wise.
He does indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
In the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, I must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God. Howsoever it seems not in him by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out, with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool a while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy of so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections must have their full bent. Lovely. Why? It must be requited. I hear how I'm censored. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say too that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. They say the lady is fair. This is the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. This so I cannot reprove it. And wise. But for loving me, by my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of Brit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice by this day. Fair lady, do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much as to say any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. I do not take pity of her. Villain!
Now, Margaret, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be of how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. Look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
Pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
And we go near her, that her ear lose nothing of the full sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Margaret, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as Beatrice shall ever couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, that she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If speaking, why, a vane blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So she turns every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air, or she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with her wit. Therefore let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sight, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks.
Just tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passion.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy. Always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict. For shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel. Which is the best to furnish me tomorrow?
She is limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then I go toward Aragon.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I, methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
After toothache,
Draw it.
hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
Well, everyone can master grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
Has any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's men have been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek have already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
That's as much as to say, the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yeah, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lewd string, and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions, and in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Is this no charm for the toothache? Or, Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good then, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let it appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labour ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, Hero? Disloyal?
Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honour to change your mind.
May this be so?
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation, why I should wed, there will I shame her.
And I, as I wooed for thee to obtain her, will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned.
O mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague, right well prevented, so will you say when you have seen the sequel.
No, I have earned Don John 1,000 ducats. Know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady hero's gentlewoman by the name of Hero. The lady's gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale villily. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by the master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter. 2 of them thought that Margaret was Hero, the prince, and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made, away went Claudio enraged. Swore he would meet her as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw of night, and sent her home again without a husband.
I charge you in the prince's name, stand.
I am like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of this man's bills, a commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, I'll obey you.
Roth, I think your other rebuttal were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently. If the hair were a thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion, I faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, it's but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold in cuts, and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts, round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine quaint, graceful and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 of it.
God, give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceedingly heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art thou not ashamed?
Of what? Of speaking honourably? Is not marriage honourable in a beggar? Is not your lord honourable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband, and bad thinking do not rest through speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think. And it be the right husband and the right wife, otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am all out of other tune, methinks.
Clap us into light of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing it, and I'll dance it.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. God, by my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hey ho!
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, H.
These gloves the Count sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick. Ugh.
Get you some of this distilled Carduus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There, thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Have you some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I can not think, if I would think my heart out of thinking. That you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet, Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes, as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop. Madam, withdraw. The Prince, the Count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good cuz, good Meg.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall count their particular duties afterwards.
Come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to Count.
I do.
If either of you know of any inward impediment why you should not join, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Well, know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, Count?
I dare make his answer. None.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do without knowing what they do.
Oh, no. Interjections. Why then? Some must be of laughing at.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her.
And what have I to give you back? Whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all that you see her, that she were a maid, but his exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee, seeming. I'll write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud, ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus or those pampered animals that ravage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
These things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God.
Leonato, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Are your eyes your own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechism call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight, out at your window, betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honour, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at a chamber window who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoke of. There is not chastity enough in language without offence to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Hero, what a hero hadst thou been, if half thy outward graces had been placed about thy thoughts and counsels of thy heart. Fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Hero! Hero, wherefore sink you down, hero?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
Oh, that lady!
Dead, I think. Help, uncle, friar, Signor Benedict.
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How, cousin hero!
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, though while thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would, on the rearward of reproaches, strike at the life. Grieved I had but one. Did I, for that at frugal nature's frame, oh, one too much by thee, why had I one?
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed? Confirmed? Oh, that is stronger made which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have only been silent. By nothing of the lady have I marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. In her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the error that this prince is holding. Call me a fool, trust not my age, my reverence calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some fighting error.
Friar, it cannot be. She not denies it. Why seek'st thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me, I know none. I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant. Let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
Strange misprision in the prince.
Two of them have the right bent of honour. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in John the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honour, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, that they shall find awaked in such a kind both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability, means, and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway in this case. Your daughter here, the princess left for dead, let her a while be secretly kept in, publish it that she is dead indeed, and do all rites that appertain to a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that drew my uncle upon this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She dying, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit. Then shall he mourn, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusations true. Let this be so.
Renato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honour, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason to. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world as well as you. Is that not strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It may well be said that I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not. And yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says, I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee.
Then God forgive me.
What offence, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
I am gone.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is it not approved in the height a villain that have slandered, scorned, dishonoured my kinswoman? Oh God, that I were a man. What, to bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh my God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Beatrice.
To talk with a man out of the window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged. She is slandered. She is undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But no, manhood is melted into curtsies, and valor into compliment. Men are only turned tongue. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it some other way than to swear by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. It's not second grief. It is not wisdom to second grief against yourself like that.
Pray thee, seize thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in the sea. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, and bid him speak of patience. If such a one will smile and stroke his beard, patch a grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. Oh, brother, men can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel. No. 'Tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
Pray thee, peace.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied.
Now, senior, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Senior. You're almost to come to part of fray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off with two old men without teeth.
Leonato and his brother. What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In false quarrel there is no true valour. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
There, I shall meet your wit in that career, and you shall charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
Nay, then give him another staff. This last was broke cross.
By this light, he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear, Count Claudio? You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humour. My lord, for your many curtsies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet an innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet, and till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I warn you, for the love of Beatrice.
And he hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hoses and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape. But then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall never weigh more reason in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite, you must be looked to.
How now? One of my brother's men's bound? What offence has this man done?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John your brother incensed me to slander the lady Hero, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and thy master's false accusation, and, briefly, I desire nothing more than the reward of a villain.
Runs not the speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while he uttered it.
But that my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet Hero. Now thy image doth appear in a rare semblance that I loved first.
By this time my sexton hath reformed Signor Linaja the matter.
Here comes Signor Linato.
Which is the villain?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath has killed my innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honourable men. A third is fled, that hath a hand in it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak, Signor Linato. Choose your revenge yourself, impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul know I, and yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my child that's dead. She alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given a cousin. So dies my revenge.
No, noble sir. Your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. Naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always had been just and virtuous is anything that I do know by her.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
So I discharge thee of thy prisoner. And I thank thee.
God keep your worship. May your worship be well, and God restore you.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Bye-bye, my lads. We'll look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Prithee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well of my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deserves it.
To have no man come over me? Why, shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit, but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
Therefore will come. The god of love, who sits above and knows me how pitiful I deserve. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor can I woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Very well now. And yet ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what have passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And I pray thee now, tell me for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintained so politic a state of evil that no good part could intermingle with them. And now tell me, which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There is no wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
Tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me and mend. There will leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proof that my lady Hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, the author of it all, is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio who accused her, upon the error that you had debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears. The true cause of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you, gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudia promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonato, truth is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favour.
That I, my daughter, lent her, is most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill, may stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honourable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help? Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter? Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you've such a February face, so full of frost, of storm and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage's ball. Thus, fear not, we'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Wait, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Well then, give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of their hero's death. Time let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name.
Do not you love me?
Well, no more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They saw you did.
Do not you love me?
Oh, no more than reason.
Why then, Hero and Margaret are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They saw that you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
There's no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper, written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
Oh, here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
Well, I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I tell you what, Prince, a college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humour. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
Prince, thou art sad. Get thee our wife. Get thee our wife.
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with our men back to Messina.
Think not of him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!